Hi, I'm Fire Chief Richard Kelley, and welcome to the first episode of Coffee with the Fire Chief, our new series where I sit down with different Oklahoma leaders to have a conversation about our city. Hey, Craig, this is Chief Kelley. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, do you got time to go grab some coffee?
Sure. I'll be glad to. You mind driving?
Sure, don't mind at all. I'll just swing by here in a minute and pick you up.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thanks. See you in a bit.
All right,
sir. Bye. Today, I'll be sitting down with Craig Freeman, the City Manager of Oklahoma City.
Hey, Chief.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Good. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for the ride.
You bet. Hope you don't mind the ride here.
Yeah, I like the car.
It is. We got a few of these in the fire department, so thanks to your help, we appreciate it, and all the city council and everyone else. So appreciate you joining me for some coffee.
Oh yeah.
This right here is a kind of give you backstory on this rig. It's interesting. It's a 1989 quality engine, but the interesting thing about it, this was actually the first apparatus that arrived on scene at the bombing.
Oh wow.
So this is something, it's old engine one. So we wanted to keep the rig, as much as we could original. So since that time, we actually kept the rig pretty much the same condition you see that responded to on that day. The only difference is we put the stickers on it just to recognize,
right,
our firefighters and obviously the history of that. So
yeah, that's a history you want to keep in the department forever, right?
It is, and we have it as a parade rig, but we also actually we use it for some of our memorial services, and actually for some funerals. We'll do funerals in the city,
right,
for past firefighters that will actually utilize this apparatus as well. So
yeah. So when you were in service, did you ever drive this rig?
I never drove this actual rig. Now this is a quality engine, and we don't have, that's the manufacturer.
Right.
We don't actually have any of these in service anymore, but I did actually learn to pump on one of these rigs, but I never did actually drive this actual rig.
That's great.
Thanks for joining. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, I appreciate the invitation.
You bet. So just thought it'd be an opportunity to catch up. I
Yeah.
know you're extremely busy, and so I really appreciate you taking time.
Oh yeah, thank you.
But just kind of checking in. I know we talk a lot when I see you about riding bikes, and I got a ride in this last weekend. It was a little rough, but how's yours going?
It's going good. I still ride. I ride about every morning. I really enjoy getting out on the trails, but just don't get an opportunity very often. So I usually ride around my neighborhood.
Just kind of tell me, I know you talked about it before, but your history with the city and maybe leading up to that. Or
right.
What's your story, if you don't mind talking about it?
So I've been with the city for 31 years now. So I started in 1992, which is really a great opportunity because I started right before MAPS. So I was able to be here and to see that renaissance unfold. But when I started with the city, I thought I would come to work for the city for a short time, be here for a little while, get some good experience, because in a larger city you get to see a lot of different things. Be here for a short time and then go out and be a city manager in a smaller city. But after being here for a short time, I realized that I love the professionalism, the commitment to service, just the commitment to excellence that I saw within the city and good people who are serving in the city. And so I kind of changed my view and decided I wanted to work here. And it was because of all the people and the way that they served that I decided I want to be a part of this organization. And at that point, it really took my eyes off being city manager. I wasn't looking saying, well, I'm going to be city manager of Oklahoma City one day. I just wanted to do the best job that I could where I was in the city and make a career in Oklahoma City. So you started about the same time I did, a little bit before me.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about your career.
Interesting career. I mean, when I say that, I was going to college at Rose State. I thought I wanted to be an accountant. That involves numbers, and no, really, it was a blessing. Part of my life. My uncle was a big influence on my life. He was a president of Central Sales Advertising Agency, my dad's brother, and he helped me get into college just because I was thinking of going the military route. And he encouraged me to go to college, and so I was going to college thinking he's a businessman. I'm trying to, my uncle's supporting me, And I realized that was not something that I had passion for. Just happened, it was after the unfortunate event where we lost 3 firefighters and we had the sales tax. So there was a big push to hire 200 additional firefighters, 200 additional police officers. And so it really started ramping up the hiring process. I had several good friends from high school, started testing. So I started reading about, and it was like, it was a light bulb. It just clicked, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. I grew up in Moore. But I tested everywhere, and my goal was to be an Oklahoma City firefighter. I knew it was a bigger city. I knew there was greater opportunities. It was still in my community. Moore's right next to Oklahoma City. So September of 1991, I got hired in Oklahoma City. I started actually at the airport September of 1990, and I worked for a year there, and then I got hired in the city, and it's been a blessing ever since.
Yeah.
You feel like you don't work a day in your life when it's something you enjoy.
That's true.
You don't feel like you work. You feel like you show up and you get able to contribute, make a difference in the community, and you do the best you can. Not every day's perfect. Some days are a lot better than others.
Yeah.
As you probably understand
Yes.
that. But every day I get to come to work and serve our community as a fire chief is a blessing.
Yeah.
So our stories are somewhat similar as I took the place of Chief Bryant, Chief Bryant had been the chief for 13 years. And then obviously you followed Mr. Couch, who had been here for 18 years.
Yes, that's right.
And I imagine did that seem overwhelming sometimes stepping in?
It definitely did.
Right.
I mean, the job always felt bigger than me and still does today.
Sure, yes, sir.
But it's because of leaders
Myself,
like
right.
you and throughout the organization that you have that confidence to go forward. But yeah, following Jim was really difficult. When I heard that he was going to retire, I was so disappointed because I loved serving under him and working for him and learning from him. And so, yeah, it was really tough. And I think I just had to get my mind set on, I'm not going to be Jim. I had to be me in the role, and it was going to be different. And just had to get used to that. Jim has also stayed very close and continued to be a mentor and someone that I can rely upon and visit with frequently. It's been a big help to me.
It's kind of the same with Chief Bryant.
Right.
It is that interesting thing you said there is, as you learn being a leader, is you have to be yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I was stressed about sometimes. I couldn't be Chief Bryant.
Right.
And just like you said, Mr. Couch is someone that had done tremendous things for our city, just like you have. And that's interesting. You have to do it in your own way.
Right.
Well,
right.
As we see the city, this is probably you feel the same way as I drive into the city sometimes in the morning and I look at the downtown and see the growth, and I think about the responsibility I have, much less a responsibility you have. I can't imagine, but like you said, it's 5,000 plus of us pulling on the rope in the same direction.
Definitely.
So that helps you feel a lot better, but it's still overwhelming at times. What do you see as we go forward? I mean, the new, we talk about the new normal after COVID.
Right.
It's kind of like the new normal after MAP. So I say that as so many things have happened in our city and the growth. And what do you see in the future for our city? I mean, it seems like it's endless almost.
Yeah, I think to look to the future, you have to look to the past. And you think back, like when we first started working for the city, so in 1992, when I came, it's like, downtown is dead. There's not a lot going on.
Wow.
People would come in here and go to an event and be gone. There's no one staying around. There's no reason to be here. People would work during the day and then be gone. And just to see the difference in our city after MAPS and the vision that was here for the leaders at that time to see what our city needed to make us a place where people wanted to live and they wanted to visit and they wanted to work. And to see that difference that came about over time, that really is a renaissance for our city, that when they had that vision, it started a momentum for our city that you look back and see how we've grown compared to a lot of other major cities. And particularly in this part of the country, to see the way that we've been able to grow, I think it's really a tribute to those leaders before who started that momentum, and it's continued through those MAPS programs where that temporary tax has kind of this added benefit of an accountability that's tied to it, because you have to fulfill what you've committed to, get people to support it, and then you fulfill what you've committed to, and then you've got to go to the next project and you've got to rely upon their support again. And it's the vision of the leaders that were there, but also the residents that are here being willing to invest in themselves. You said it about the organization where you have some confidence. There's 5,000 of us out there pulling together to get things done. Well, there's 700,000 people in the city working together, and those who are voting to support the initiatives like general obligation bond packages or the MAPS packages, or even the new arena vote that we're talking about, that's what helps keep that momentum going forward. So when you look at the momentum they started, it's our responsibility now as leaders to carry that on and work with our residents and their support to carry that on to help build that future for the next generation.
When we bring recruits in, we talk about the equipment we have. We have the best equipment really in the fire service, our apparatus, the PPE, the things that we have is, it's because of our residents and how they support
That's
us.
exactly
Just
right.
like you said, it's
That
all
is exactly right.
It's so important to understand that. And I also give a history of talking about our 3/4 cent public safety sales tax, of how that has made a difference in the transition of our organization. It's similar to the path that we have in our city as a whole.
Right.
In MAPS program, really the change in our organization and the police department, fire department, was really that public safety sales tax. And it was the citizens seeing that opportunity to invest in the city that way in public safety. And now we see that obviously at a larger scale in what they do through the MAPS program.
And I so appreciate the way that you talk about carrying that on to pass that down to the next generations, because the stories that we were able to witness as this unfolded, the new generations coming in haven't seen that. And so we've got to continue to tell that story so that they understand it really is the benefits we have in all of those areas is because of the support that we have our residents. And we can't lose sight of that, so that we make sure we maintain that trust and do the best we can to serve them, so that they make sure they have the services that they need.
Let's just say outside your job, very important job that you do in our community, what do you dig? What do you really enjoy?
Well, my family is very important to me. We got 4 grandkids now. We have 3 grown kids and 4 grandkids. My wife and I have been married for 39 years, and my family is very important to me. I'm a believer in Christ, and so my faith is very important to me. We serve in our church. We serve at Southwest Baptist Church and are able to work in a Sunday school class for young married couples, and that's really important to us. And I enjoy getting out and riding the bike when I can. It's a lot of fun. And I think I'm blessed because I've got a lot of friends within the community, but I've got a lot of friends just within our city community, and so many people that I've been blessed to be able to work with and know that you come to work and you spend so much time with them, developing those relationships with people like you, where there's just a trust that's there as we get ready to work together, and especially when we go through difficult situations and circumstances that we can all pull together. So those relationships are really what's very important to me.
Unfortunately, I was here, I say it was obviously an honor to serve, but I worked 11 days at the bombing.
Wow.
So that was something. I got put on a special team. Chief Walker and I, there are only 2 left, that we were actually the last 12 to finish up and walk out of the building. There's 12 of us. Chief Mars came in, it was almost midnight, and said, "We're done." That's something that obviously is a tragedy in our city, and we hate that we're known for that. But I also am honored that we're known as, we developed a standard, the Oklahoma standard.
I couldn't
that made
agree
a
more. I
difference.
think it's a tragedy of our city and the way it affected our community and really the nation at the time. But the way that you all and other first responders showed up and were there to serve and just tirelessly served and continued to serve, I think really stands out as an example in service.
I think you look at it though, just like it was a community.
Yes,
really,
it was.
It was everybody,
It was.
From all of our city leaders to all of our community. Everybody showed up.
So how do you keep that passion? Like the passion that you've got, it's something I love about you, is just the way you want to serve and the way you love this community, the way you love the department. How do you carry that throughout the organization?
Well, I think it's by seeing what people do every day. I look at the calls our people go on. I see what they're doing. I see how our people care. I see how they train. I see how they show up. To me, it's how could you not? When you see the people around you, it's like you get an opportunity to work with excellence and people that strive to do a good job every day. When you're around people like that, to me, it helps codify what you're doing and showing that you're doing the right thing. And it may not, it's really not because of me. Sometimes it may be in spite of me, but they just show up and when you see them working and you see the pride they take and you see the excitement they have, to me, how can you not show up?
Something I love about the Oklahoma City Fire Department, and we've got many departments that are like this, but the fire department's a great example, is that excellence isn't gained by just arriving, figuring out how to do it best and then doing that and now you're excellent. Right. But it's that continued growth that's going on. And what I see is you all constantly assessing the situation and the circumstances, from individual calls to looking broader at the services to see how you can be better. I just see that continuing. How is it that you keep that going within the organization, that it's so much a part of your DNA that being better all the time is what you really do?
I think we're fortunate. You just go back in history. I mean, there's a lot of things in tradition that sometimes we may look as a negative, but the reality, I think it's been instilled in who we are from the beginning. Sometimes just our benefit is that that's all we know.
Yeah.
The expectations.
It's like we talked about before. It's like it came through the organization. It's our job to carry that on now, right?
And to make it a little bit better than we found it,
right,
and give it to the next person that has the energy to carry that forward, and that's what we have to do.
That's great.
Well, I really appreciate your time today. I know you're extremely busy.
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for letting me sit down with you and spend a little bit of time together. That's really good.
I know how busy you are, so thank you so much for what you're doing and how you're leading our city, and thank you for the example that you set for all of us.
Yeah, and I say the same to you. I appreciate your leadership. It's leaders like you that really make the city go. And then working again, and all the employees that are out there serving every single day, they're the ones our residents really see,
right.
They're the ones that provide that direct service.
Yes,
so
sir.
Thank you for your leadership and commitment as well.
Thank you. All right, you've officially been mugged. There you go, sir.
Hey,
that's
thank
for you.
you.
Thank you so
much. I appreciate that. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.